The British royal family is one of the most famous, influential, and closely watched dynasties in the world. For centuries, they have played a central role in British history, representing tradition, political stability, and cultural influence. Their wealth, often a subject of fascination and speculation, includes vast estates, priceless artifacts, and lucrative investments. However, an ongoing debate remains. Are they truly the richest family in the world? While the monarchy's fortune is undeniably substantial, it is unique in the way it is structured. Unlike ultra-wealthy business dynasties such as the Waltons, Rothschilds, or the Saudi royal family, much of what the British monarchy controls is not privately owned but held in trust for the nation. This distinction makes their financial status far more complex than many assume. The British royal family's wealth comes from multiple sources, including state-managed assets, private estates, personal investments, and taxpayer funding. One of the most significant financial pillars is the Crown Estate, a multi-billion-pound portfolio that includes vast stretches of land, commercial properties, agricultural holdings, and valuable real estate across the United Kingdom. Some of the most valuable assets under the Crown Estate include Regent Street, one of London's most prestigious shopping districts, and extensive seabed rights, which generate revenue through leases to offshore wind farms. With a total estimated value exceeding £15 billion, or $18 billion, the Crown Estate generates hundreds of millions of pounds in profit annually. However, despite its enormous value, this estate is not personally owned by the monarchy. Instead, it is legally held by the British state, with all profits going to the UK Treasury. The monarchy receives a sovereign grant, which is set at a percentage of these profits, ensuring that the royal family can fund its official duties and maintain its residences. In addition to the Crown Estate, two other significant sources of royal wealth are the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall. Unlike the Crown Estate, which is state-managed, these two are privately held estates that provide direct income to the royal family. The Duchy of Lancaster, valued at over £650 million, $800 million, serves as a financial source for the reigning monarch. It consists of land, commercial properties, and agricultural holdings spread across England and Wales. The revenue from this estate is used to support the sovereign's personal expenses as well as those of certain senior royals. Meanwhile, the Duchy of Cornwall, worth approximately £1 billion, $1.2 billion, is traditionally held by the Prince of Wales, the heir to the throne. This duchy generates tens of millions of pounds annually, which supports the lifestyle, official duties, and charitable work of the heir and their family. These duchies provide the British royal family with a steady flow of income that allows them to maintain their lavish lifestyle even beyond government funding. Beyond these official sources, the royal family possesses a significant amount of personal wealth and private assets. While many of the palaces associated with the monarchy, such as Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and the Palace of Holyrood House, are owned by the state and not by the royal family itself, there are privately owned royal residences. Balmoral Castle in Scotland and Sandringham House in England are personal properties of the monarch, passed down through generations and valued at hundreds of millions of pounds. Additionally, the monarchy owns an extensive collection of art, antiques, and jewelry, including the crown jewels, which are considered priceless. However, while the crown jewels are an integral part of the monarchy's heritage, they are not privately owned assets, but held in trust for the nation. Another key aspect of the royal family's wealth lies in investments and inheritance. Over the centuries, successive monarchs have accumulated personal fortunes through investments in stocks, bonds, and businesses. Queen Elizabeth II, for example, left behind a personal fortune estimated at £370 million, $450 million, which included valuable stamp collections, racehorses, and financial investments. Other members of the royal family also hold personal fortunes, though these amounts remain private. Despite their immense financial standing, the British royal family is not the richest family in the world. When compared to global business dynasties and ruling families from other nations, the monarchy's personal wealth is modest in comparison. The House of Saud, the ruling royal family of Saudi Arabia, is by far the wealthiest monarchy in the world, with a collective fortune estimated at $1.4 trillion. Their wealth stems primarily from Saudi Arabia's vast oil reserves, and unlike the British royal family, the House of Saud directly owns their wealth rather than having it managed by the state. Similarly, the Rothschild family, one of the most powerful banking dynasties in history, is believed to have a fortune exceeding $500 billion, accumulated through generations of involvement in global banking, finance, and investments. Another prominent example is the Walton family, heirs to the Walmart empire, who collectively control over $250 billion, making them the richest non-royal family in the world. Other influential families, such as the Rockefellers, Carnegies, and Koch family, have amassed massive fortunes through industries like oil, manufacturing, and finance, far exceeding the personal fortune of the British monarchy. Despite not being the wealthiest family in terms of personal fortune, the British royal family projects an image of immense wealth and prestige. This perception is largely shaped by their royal palaces, ceremonial grandeur, and access to extraordinary resources rather than personal ownership of vast financial assets. While their fortune does not compare to that of billionaire business tycoons like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or the Rothschilds, their influence and global recognition make them one of the most powerful dynasties in the world. Their wealth, however, is structured in a unique way that distinguishes them from traditional ultra-rich families who generate and control wealth through private enterprises. Many of the royal family's most valuable assets, such as Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and the crown jewels, are not personally owned by the monarch or any family member. Instead, these assets are held in trust for the nation, meaning they cannot be sold or transferred by the royal family for personal gain. These historic properties and treasures symbolize the continuity of the British monarchy, reinforcing its prestige but not directly contributing to personal wealth in the way a privately owned real estate empire or corporate conglomerate would. In financial terms, the royal family benefits from multiple revenue streams. One of the most significant is the sovereign grant, a taxpayer-funded allocation that covers the official expenses of the monarchy, including travel, staffing, and palace maintenance. This grant is calculated as a percentage of the profits from the crown estate, a vast portfolio of land, properties, and commercial assets technically owned by the reigning monarch, but managed independently, with the majority of its revenues going to the UK government. However, what sets them apart is not just their financial power, but their enduring influence, historical legacy, and symbolic status. Even though their personal wealth does not match that of the House of Saud, the Waltons, or the Rothschilds, the British monarchy remains one of the most respected, globally recognized, and institutionally powerful families in the world. Their true value lies in their symbolic power, political connections, and cultural significance. Whether or not they are the wealthiest, their status ensures they will remain a dominant force in global affairs for generations to come.